Boom, baby, we're alive. Welcome to Interview with the Man, episode 646. I'm here with Red Pill Thor. We're going to talk about being a dominant, masculine male. And before we get going, don't forget, Monday, May 8th, it is going down. The Masculine Empowerment Network is opening for enrollment. It is an annual enrollment membership, and you're not going to want to miss out on it. Take a look what we got in store for you right here.
I am not a man that believes in luck. I am not a man that believes in destiny. I believe in discipline. I believe in being powerful. I believe in being self-reliant. I believe in mentorship. And most importantly, I believe in me. I refuse to be a victim. And I know that every day I make a choice to be better than before, a choice to do what is right for me, a choice to not live as a slave to my emotions. And all of these choices will lead me to the burden that is heavy, and that burden is greatness. We live in the most prosperous times in human history. There is no excuse that outweighs the greatness that is in you that can get you the life that you want. Every day, we must make a choice to improve our lives or to be victims of inaction. The price of greatness is one we must pay every day, and it is a choice that I always make. Although the path we walk can be lonely, it is the most important thing we must do. Sometimes when you choose the life of greatness, you need a little help. The best part of my journey is that I'm not alone, and neither are you.
That's right. May 8th, it's going down. If you're not on the waiting list, you are missing out. We got 137 new members on the waiting list, not including the old members. So stop what you're doing right now. Go to masculineempowermentnetwork.com, scroll down, get on the waiting list. Click here to save your spot. It's free. You don't have any financial commitment. When you hit this button, it just gets you the free alerts and the gems that will be coming out via email on May 8th. Okay, you might be asking, once again, what do I get when I sign up for the Masculine Empowerment Network? You get all of this and more. Taking a look real quick right here, you get access to my premium course, Body Language Mastery. This will teach you how to read a woman's body language using Japanese models, 2 different models for you to see if a woman is truly into you or not. So you can find women that are into you, and the ones who are trying to use you for time, money, attention, emotional validation, etc. You could kick them to the curb and send them back to where they belong.
She belongs to the streets.
Number 2, 60 webinars with experts in money, muscles, game, and frame. Okay, what is a webinar? A webinar is when you come into a Zoom coaching session with us and our team, and you watch a live presentation, and then after the presentation is over, you are able to ask your questions, and we will give you a tailor-made solution for your tailor-made problem. If you do not get the opportunity to attend live, don't worry, they're all recorded. And then they're put on a database for you to have. And you get access to the database dating back to 2019 with over 200 hours of past webinars as well. Number 4, you get access to the secured Telegram chat. This is where you get to network with us. And this Telegram chat will be open until April of 2024. You get direct access to me, MLD, and then you get access to the open course access sale. The open course access sale is you get to purchase all of my courses that I have locked up, and I typically only release them 20 days out of the year. You get access to all of these and so much more at a below market rate price, but you're only to the VIP members of the Masculine Empowerment Network. If you want to know what the schedule looks like, it is jam-packed and full of value. Take a look at this here, okay? It is color-coded. Money is green, muscles is yellow, game is red, and frame is purple. And you get all of these live webinars. We're talking about the Asia Pill with Andrew, the legal mindset. We're talking about building deep confidence. We already had 4 people sign up for Elevate cybersecurity course. They bought the annual pass. They're getting ready to get their jobs and get educated with the quickness. Get Money Coding's going to be talking about how to succeed with artificial intelligence and coding. Legal Mindset's going to be talking about making YouTube money fast. Credit with Colin's going to talk about leveraging your credit to build wealth. He's a multi-million-dollar earning entrepreneur, newest member of the Masculine Empowerment Network, and only in his 20s. Top-level guy, former combat vet in the United States Marines as well. And so much more. We got Justin Mark. We got myself, MLD, dropping the heat. Guys, you're going to miss out if you don't sign up. So go to the masculineempowermentnetwork.com. Okay. And I just got a question for you guys real quick. You know, I said, follow the white rabbit, right? On my commercial there. I don't know if this is a coincidence, but you tell me, is Andrew Tate copying me? He's on my email list. He's on my email list, but is he copying me? I don't know. Maybe his team is, but my spider sense is tingling. I don't know. But what I do know is I got a great guy here with me today, Mr. Red Pill Thor. Thor, thank you so much for being patient. Welcome tonight. What a time to be alive, eh? You're a little, let me unmute you.
What's up? Living the dream, MLD. What's going on? JH is fantastic. It's like old times when we were doing Dude Party.
Yeah.
You know, good stuff.
Yep. We had a good Dude Party this last weekend.
We did. We did.
Welcome to the show, Thor. I mean, you know, it's been a long time now. When did you join the Masculine Empowerment Network? When was it? Was it 2020 or 2019?
2019.
Q4, was it?
No, it was Q3. It was Q3. I missed a week, though.
Q3.
Yeah. You actually talked me into it in Q2, and I did come. That was with Wraith, and then I didn't come.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You definitely, you know, we had exchanges on Facebook, and I've written a few things, and you kind of just, you kind of laid it down to what you were doing. I go, okay, this sounds interesting. And I did not understand how the webinars worked. I missed the first week, and I got in the second one. And after the first one, I go, oh shit, the kid found the magic. Yep. You pioneered this format, really, I have to say. And it's been successful for many, many creators because it actually brings a lot of experience and knowledge to the everyday man at where they're at. They don't have to travel for it.
Right.
Which makes it invaluable, really, particularly when you have experienced and well thought out presenters that can really express, you know, their knowledge and pay it forward. It's really, really valuable. You know, I saw on your list, you had a lot of the frame and game on there. Yes. Makes me just want to rename it, you know, the Glorious House of Inner Gains.
Yeah. I mean, the schedule here is jam packed. I mean, you know, just looking at what we have here. I mean, you're leading the charge of the fitness. You're talking about understanding testosterone and fitness.
Mm-hmm.
I just, my biggest thing about you is just I think like you're just so slept on, because I think a lot of these young guys, they want
What
to
do you
see
mean?
some young Chad, Jack, and stuff talk about how to get girls nowadays. But the reality is, like, wisdom is with the more seasoned men. And I think that's a big problem with the culture in the United States, is like too many. I mean, we're just have all these people like chasing, cars and six pack ab influencers and stuff. And like, it's a mess out there right now. It's really a mess. It's
It is.
total.
Let me just kind of go over what I'm going to do on the webinars for you, and that might help some of the folks. You said that I was slept on. And I think, what I don't like to do is I certainly don't like to disclose. You either find what I have to offer on your own, or you don't. And I am going to talk about fitness. As you know, I'm over 60.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in pretty good shape. When you first met me, I was a 10% body fat, around 211 pounds at 5'10.5". So, and I think I was 58 at the time. So it was a good meeting, and I've been able to maintain that for many, many years. And part of it is because I worked really hard at, tuning my body and paying attention to what this earth suit needs. Now, how I did it, I am going to disclose some of how I have done this over the years. I was actually in the original forums that Victor Black had put on, which educated Derek from More Plates, More Dates. Him and I started together. So we were looking at Victor Black's work when he was Muscle and Iron, and some of Lou Ellen's stuff on hormone replacement. And it's a funny tribe, but there's a lot of guys jumping on the hormone bandwagon today, including guys with doctors after their name. And I'll tell you this, the most world-renowned guy on hormone replacements at this point really is not officially a doctor. His name's Victor Black, and he lives in Thailand. He's a mechanical engineer, and doctors come to him. But interesting enough, I just heard on Pearly Things the other day, a doctor that was talking a million miles an hour, had a lot of good things to say about hormones and women. But this is the problem with a lot of guys that are out there shouting about hormones. There's very few that are straight up. Jay Campbell's a good one. A couple other guys are good ones out there. But like this doctor, he was perpetuating common myths and misconceptions around hormone replacement for both men and women. And I knew that he knew better and saw the actual studies such as I have seen over the years. And I think the reason why you're seeing this and you're seeing a lot of people jumping on this bandwagon is those myths are highly emotional. Testosterone for men, estrogen for women. And they try to tie it into, it is a crucial part of who we are.
Yeah.
And how we live. And it does tie into our relationships, but it's pretty damned amazing to me to see how many of these myths are perpetuated so that you're emotionally engaged and you buy this person's product or service.
Yeah.
And I don't do that at all. Not because I can't. That's just not my focus. I'm okay without it. I mean, it's your life. If you really want to know, you'll find out. For instance, do you know, if I were to tell you, men's hormone is, a man's hormone is testosterone.
Yes.
And a woman's hormone is estrogen.
Right.
I would be lying to you. There is really no such thing as estrogen as a hormone in women. Do you know that? There is no hormone called estrogen that's in women. This is how ignorant we are on the myth. There's actually 3 hormones in an estrogen family. It is just a container word. There's estradiol, there's estriol, and there's estrione. There is no such hormone as estrogen. This is just an example of how some of these things get simplified and perpetuated. Each one has a different function. Each one can be affected by what's called enzymatic processing within the body to change it into other hormones that affect all of us. And they affect all of us in many beneficial ways. So what I'm going to do in our webinar for MEN is I'm going to primarily focus on how men can actually educate themselves and see through the myths and misconceptions that are out there, and actually talk about why you would look at naturally, maintaining your testosterone throughout your life and your estrogen balance.
Right.
And then I'm going to look at what some of the statistics state about in the West, how testosterone has actually fallen down and has collapsed in just the last 50 years. It's interesting because our grandfathers had 45% more testosterone, serum testosterone than we do now. I'm going to talk a little bit about how that happened. Another interesting thing about our grandfathers, John, is you know that they only had to work half as hard and got twice as hot a chick as we do today.
Yeah, that's hoflation, and we're gonna cover a lot today. But so let's just let's knock it out one by one.
Yep.
So I think the most important thing that we need to talk about is the gigantic crisis of fat, out of shape men in America. Because I don't care, red pill, blue pill, black pill, yellow pill, whatever the fuck you are, being a fat is a disgrace. And being out of shape is a disgrace to you as a human. There is no way you can rationalize not going to the gym, not getting fitness, not getting sunlight, not getting your cardio in.
Take my money.
There's no way you can justify this. And a lot of men right now, a lot of young men in their 20s and whatnot, they're depressed, they feel terrible, but they don't exercise on a daily basis, and their diet is absolutely atrocious. I'm 37 years old. I certainly don't look it. I certainly don't feel it. And a big reason for that is I go above and beyond to take care of my physical appearance and physical health. I eat very clean. I exercise literally daily basis. When it comes to physical fitness, right, you had a gigantic life transformation a little bit later in life in which you made this big change. What are you going to be teaching the guys in the Masculine Empowerment Network? And what are your thoughts on just health, fitness, and even if it's not to get girls, just health and fitness in general? What are your thoughts on that?
Sure. My thoughts are, you know, I had to come to the realization because I had a dental infection and I wasn't paying attention in my life. I was focused on my career in corporate America. I wasn't eating correctly. I ended up with a dental infection that had gotten systemic and had to take antibiotics, which caused a temporary bout of ulcerative colitis. I looked 80 years old and lost a ton of weight. It took me a good year and a half to get back. I lost my ability to be attractive to women and men. I had a lot of fogginess in my mind. And the struggle back from that was just kind of sheer willpower. It's like this, I'd look at myself and that's not how I'm going to go out. You know, it was a matter of just sheer willpower and feeling terrible and just, you know, learning. I vowed to myself I'd learn how to eat right. It really took the trauma of being sick for a good long time, not holding food in and not absorbing nutrients to really kind of get shocked into the fact that my earth suit would wear out. And here's the thing, just 15 years before, I was in incredible shape. I was a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I had great shape. I just ended up focusing on my career, not paying attention, high sugar levels, all the things that are easy for every American to do. Cheap, delicious food that's essentially, you know, triggers huge amounts of insulin in your body to control the sugars. And, you know, this basically damages all of the internal structure of your earth suit. It wears you out. And then when you get sick, you realize, holy crap, I might not be here very long. And this hit me at age 48.
Yeah, right.
It took me to 51 to get it back into just the shape that a normal 50-year-old would have. By age 52, I was kind of superhuman, but I was not on hormone replacement at that time. I had just, by force of will, and said, I'm going to go out swinging. Basically, I'm going to go out swinging.
Take my money.
And I think that, you know, I've worked with a lot of young men, and I've actually trained NPC bikini competitors in my 50s. And I'd studied a lot about aesthetic weight training for looks and for health benefits. Now, some might call this bodybuilding, but it's really not. It's more than that, because you don't have to look like a bodybuilder. I mean, I ended up with some sizable mass late in my life, but that's just due to my genetic predisposition that I never capitalized on. But you don't have to. You can be in incredible shape with just 3 days a week, 45 minutes on each day working out. You should make it a complete habit in your life. And, you know, I have actually seen young men do this and make it a lifetime habit, and they don't have these issues. I mean, go to any Walmart or Costco in America right now. Just take a look around. When they say 70% of Americans are overweight, that's more than 25 pounds they're carrying on them of fat. You know, that's adipose tissue. And 45% are in the morbid obesity class. That's 55 pounds and over. And it's incredibly obvious what's going on. So I'm going to try to instill in the guys, you don't want to go through the trauma. But, you know, most young men are already feeling it because they don't have any energy. They're not getting any sex. They don't have the drive because what's the point? And watch video games or porn. You see? So they lose their drive. And I'm going to try to instill in them how to get that drive back and why it's important. And anybody can start at any time in their life. It doesn't matter if you can only move one finger. Fitness and mental fitness goes right along with physical fitness. That's why we start the guys there. That's the whole part about muscles. You got to exercise that brain, which is in many ways is like a muscle, because the more you put stress on it, the stronger and the smarter it gets. It responds.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that a lot of these problems that guys have, a big part of the problem is the fact that they are eating garbage. It blows my mind how awful the average American person's diet is. And a lot of people are eating out. So you're eating away at your money, which is making you fat and also making you depressed. It's just the irresponsibility is through the roof. And I just feel like at this point of our evolution as a human species, like we have all the resources and data and knowledge at the fingertips of our hands every day. And we're eating Uber Eats. We're going to Shake Shack. We're going to McDonald's. We're going to Taco Bell. We are still actively choosing poisonous food to put into our stomachs and then wondering, oh, like, why am I depressed? Oh, well, maybe because you drink like 7 Mountain Dews a day. And, you know, I'm kind of at this point right now that I'm only eating like lettuce, rice, meat, and you know, I was drinking a lot of Diet Coca. I was drinking a lot of Diet Coca-Cola and Cola Zero and whatnot. But recently that has like taken a fucking toll on my stomach.
And
I'm having a lot of stomach problems.
you know, I have my vice of the sugar-free Red Bull as well. You know, I'm not guilt-free. It's something you have to be very aware of. You know, there's good information out there though, and I'm going to try to present somewhere. You know, I'll give the guys some brief tips on how they can do their own food prep and carry it with them. You know, that's an important skill to learn as an adult human, is the ability to prepare your own healthy food for days and weeks at a time, so you're not at a rush. You know, with the hustle and bustle that we put ourselves under today, it's too easy to call in to get some food. And you don't want to order food when you're hungry. You want to plan it out. And it's not that hard. I prep all of my food for 2 people, and I do it 2 weeks at a shot. You can do it in a Sunday afternoon. Saves a ton of time and a ton of money. So I will talk about that as I get into the fitness, and then, of course, the proper hormone balancing that a young man and a man of any age should be aware of. But the real thing I want to talk about is that second one, which is the title of this video, which is creating a dominant masculine presence for yourself. This really will have these guys rise to the occasion.
Yes. And then so I want to add on to that too, because when it comes to eating at home, you know, the rates of food, right? The rates of home cooking, right? Are going down.
Right.
In America, it's going down, and people are eating out more and more. The thing is this, I've worked in the restaurant industry, and let me tell you something, bro. First of all, everything's cooked in seed oils, which is terrible for you. Vegetable oils. Do you avoid oil, seed oils and all that?
The only oils that I'll end up using, I will use peanut oil.
Oof, that's bad.
Well, I use it very sparingly.
Why peanut oil versus olive oil?
Because there's a couple of reasons. It'll either be that or it'll be safflower oil, but it will never be canola or anything like that. I would love to be able to use the olive oil, but the reason that I use it is to tenderize and season something like a fillet steak or Wagyu beef. And then I'll punch it into the meat so that when I scorch it on a skillet quickly, the oil won't burn. You need a high temperature oil to do that, to get that right flavor and texture. And if you do it sparingly, it works. The problem with olive oil is it turns into very nasty components when it gets above 350 degrees, very toxic to you. So you don't want to scorch anything with olive oil. Olive oil is never meant to be heated. So always use it just in its natural fashion, which I will do for salads and things like that. I'll use butter can actually, you can burn it and get really toxic components to it. So you got to be very careful with that as well. But that's the only reason I would use any seed oils, because I'll do that in prep. For instance, all I do is sear the outside in a flat iron pan of a filet that I poked all the holes in and seasoned just real briefly to get that charcoal, just a touch of it, pull it out. And that's going to go in my prep meal and go into the freezer on a bed of something like asparagus, buttered asparagus, or chopped fresh zucchini. Something has a high water content. So when I put it in the microwave and I heat it at half temperature for like 12 minutes, that steak will come out exactly medium rare, as hot as if I took it off the grill. It tastes delicious. There's ways to think about prepping food. There's ways to do the chicken so it's not dry. You're just not eating chicken and broccoli all the time.
Right.
You can put fresh spinach in there. There's a lot of things you can do. So that
the kind of school of thought I've been going through lately is the Carnivore MD, which is Dr. Paul Saladino. And for me, when I go back to the States, right, for me personally, if I eat anything with any kind of seed oil in it, my stomach inflates and I get extremely gassed because I have this thing called gastritis and
inflammation. Sure. And that happens with a lot of people, actually.
And when I eat something, my stomach kind of just, even when I eat healthy, my stomach kind of has like this permanent roundness to it that it just takes, you can't really cure gastritis, but you can reduce the symptoms. And I've been reducing the symptoms by doing a lot of fasting. And my diet lately has just been, I use a website here in Japan, and they provide me with grass finished steaks.
Oh, nice.
And so I order those, and my diet literally is just like grass finished steaks. I don't eat breakfast anymore. I've cut out breakfast for the longest time. That's why I'm kind of like slimming up and cutting down big time. I've been using grass finished steaks and grass finished ground beef and just chicken. And then I have jasmine rice that I eat with it.
That's very good.
I do eat a little bit of carbs. And then I've pretty much cut out all sweets. I just eat fruit for my sweets. I have like strawberry, kiwis. And lately, I've just been drinking water. I occasionally have, there's a soda that I drink in Japan because I'm not perfect. It's called melon soda. It's fucking delicious.
Hey, if you could do that in your fruit right after a workout when your glycogen depleted, that's even better.
Yeah.
But I've moved towards the one meal a day too, because I do have to reduce my overall body weight due to blood volume. And I haven't had the same workout schedule that I was able to have a couple years ago, just because of circumstances. So definitely moving in that direction versus the higher metabolic rate that I was running at.
Yeah, definitely. And I just think it's so important to talk about this because so many Americans just have terrible diets. And even if you are eating, like you're using seed oil sparsely.
But just a little.
That's fine compared to like the average American going to like In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A and Wendy's and McDonald's and thinking Chipotle is healthy eating out and all this shit. It's just not conducive to a long-term healthy lifestyle because it fucks with your hormones. And a lot of guys don't realize your hormones are your reality. Okay. Your hormones control how you feel, your perception of reality, everything. If your hormones are off, your whole life is off. Okay. Let me catch up these super chats real quick. Adam Russell, 39, $4.99 super chat. What up, big dog? When you going to Fresh and Fit with Donovan so you can flex on the hater? So quick update. I'm going to be in Miami from May 17th until the 24th. And I'll be on Jedediah's podcast. Most likely, I just got to finalized with her and Valuetainment money most likely. And I'm trying to convince Nico to not go to Brazil so I can do a collab with him. And then where he's going to introduce me to Layla Hepburn as well. So that's the branch of the Miami trip. That's why I was late. I had to restructure my flight. And then just Fresh and Fit will be offline during that time, which is unfortunate.
Shut up and take my money.
But you know, I will be down there in Miami. I don't know if they're doing an after-hour show on the 17th, but if they are, I'm gonna push to get on there. Laurent Bruno, 500 Japanese yen, $3.80. Thanks, Laurent, for dropping the big bucks, motherfucker.
Come on, Laurent.
Good news: strong men age like Sean Connery. Bad news: weak women also age like Sean Connery. Yeah, and Laurent's a guy I told, like, you know, when I first met him, I said your hormones are probably fucked up, and he started fixing his hormones. He's doing way better now.
Yep.
He also did a lot of inner game healing stuff. Not Mormon anymore. $10 super chat. Thor, how did the golden era bodybuilders train diet for aesthetic strength and longevity? Seems like nowadays most people go for one pillar rather than all three. Thor, I'll let you handle that one.
Well, they did cycle performance enhancing drugs of the time at very low doses, actually, but they also ate at a calorie surplus throughout the day. Smaller, you know, some of them ate very large meals, but their energy expenditure was high intensity. The real key is high intensity, not so much volume, but high intensity. It is slightly better at muscle hypertrophy than volume, although volume is, I mean, we're talking almost an insignificant difference. So access to very fresh food, access to very pure PEDs and testosterone at the time, which was essentially readily available anywhere, and it wasn't frowned upon at the time, and it was extremely low dose. As you can tell with some of the modern bodybuilders, they have access to much stronger compounds, such as very cheap insulin and growth hormones, and you get that agromelia where the head and the gut stick out. So you do have a difference between the golden era and today. And then they also did a bulk and a cut cycle between the calorie surpluses and the calorie deficits. They usually only train for 1 or 2 shows. They got guys today, they're training for 6 shows a year. Very hard on the body. And you got guys dropping dead because of it, because they also use diuretics to get that really peeled look. Very, very dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, so I do respect the people who do bodybuilding, but the way, I mean, ultimately the way they eat and stuff is not good for your insides at all. It's not good for your insides at all.
That many calories all the time still is a burden. And when you carry that much blood, your heart still has to pump it, you see.
Yes.
And so that is a factor. That's not a factor for health per se. You know, even the endurance athletes that are very lean, you still stress that heart for so many years. You know, it's just, you got so many beats, you really do. And that's just the way it is. And a lot of those really heavy endurance athletes are deprived of their testosterone. You know, they're overworked, so they deplete it. That is not healthy. The most receptors for testosterone in a man or woman's body is on the surface of the heart muscles. Seriously. So it's important. You know?
Yeah.
And you know who's a good example of a really fit is that guy that does Keno Body. You know him.
Yeah, Greg O'Gallagher. He checks the Instagram
He's
stories.
Good. That's a good source for information.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, his system is kind of what I'm using right now, that just like skip breakfast. I'm a big component of intermittent fasting. I don't care what anybody says fasting is bad for you. Like, all data just shows
not at all. I've used it many times.
Phenomenal for you. Phenomenal for you. My eating window is right now, it's a little big. It's from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. But like I said, it's just when I'm just this fucking crazy, entrepreneur lifestyle that I'm living. It just takes a lot of time to get anything done. And, that's where I'm doing window. But I mean,
it's so worth it, because MLD, when you're in shape and you got the shoulder caps, you got a little bit of the thing going on, people respond to you, men, women, because it does take hard work. And because of that hard work, there's a subconscious projection or presence that you project when you're in that kind of shape. Hey, this guy's capable. You know,
Yes.
for a woman, he could protect me, or for a guy, this guy could be dangerous. You see, and that's really important when you're socially interacting. It gives you kind of an even playing field that you're a man and you're in control of your body. And that really is important foundation. That's why we always lead off with go to the gym, muscles, money,
Mhm.
game, and frame.
Yeah, and you know the biggest thing for me, and it's not about doing it for women. It's just like right now, like I think a lot of guys really think that like getting older is a death sentence. And like, dude, I'm 37 years old, and I don't know. I just don't think I feel like I'm 37. Definitely don't act like I'm 37, but I don't know. And like, are you supposed to feel old and tired? Because I was in my
I
whole life.
don't. I'm
What's
twice
that?
your age, and I don't. Oh, look what Meg Rich says.
Yeah,
Shoulder caps are so hot. My husband once asked me what I thought he was hot. And guys, when you get these shoulder caps like this, that's like fake boobs on a chick to a guy.
yeah. But I want to keep it on topic here about the age,
Yeah.
taking care of your health, taking care of the food, taking care of your hormones. Like, because I think a lot of guys think like 37. I thought 37 was gonna be like old, women wouldn't be interested in me. I can't keep these fucking women away. Um, you know, I think that it is so important for guys to really understand that getting older as a man is awesome. 37 as a woman, like you're basically a fucking leper. Like nobody, nobody wants you. But as a man, like as long as you focus on the things behind me, money, muscles, game, frame, then like really, I don't know. I feel fantastic. I have energy levels through the roof. I still fight. I still spar. I'm still knocking people down. I'm beating people up to the extent that they're calling the police on me. So
Now, let's not do that.
Let me catch up with these super chats. Nate Dog 1991 499 super chat. Thank you so much. If you're gonna follow someone in the carnivore field, don't follow Pauladina. Okay, just calm down. Just relax. Pauladina, dude, watch Dr. Paul Saladino, dude. You have no idea what you're talking about, bro.
Can I just mention something? People are religious when it comes to hang on, let me change my camera. Something went on there. No, there we go.
There you go.
When it comes to diet, I've been around a really long time.
Yeah.
And I'll just say this. If you're going to look good and stay good and you only can choose your diet, a calorie deficit is a must, regardless of the diet. As long as you're hitting your macros, it doesn't matter for shit what you're eating. It does, but if you're running a calorie deficit, you get protection from it.
Yes.
You just do. They all work. They all will work when you do it right like that. Well,
Yes.
trouble is most people can't last more than a week or two.
Yeah. Extra guac, $5 super chat. Collagen protein is a good addition to the Fountain Youth.
Mhm.
Good stuff, Jen. Yeah, dude. I take collagen protein for my joints because my joints from the years of fighting are just fucked up. I also take UC 11. You know what that is, Thor? You ever take UC 11?
I haven't heard it called that. No, I'm not aware.
Yeah.
What is the actual name?
It's a joint. It's a type 2. Here, I'll show it to you guys.
Type 2 collagen?
Yes. Undenatured type 2
Collagen. Yeah.
So I was having some elbow pain the other day because I just do like a lot of combat sports and stuff. That's why I hit the aqua bag too. It's so good for shock damaging reduction. But this is what I take right here. This stuff here, UC 22, man.
Yep.
And this stuff, dude, I had elbow pain at nighttime. I took this and I woke up in the morning and the elbow pain was gone. So if you have any kind of joint pain or anything along those lines, this kind of collagen right here is just fantastic. You can see the data right here as well. 40 milligrams of the standardized chicken cartilage. Let me ask you something, Thor. Is eating cartilage, does that also put collagen into your system?
Absolutely. Organ meats are very good. And the myth that too much meat hardens arteries is a complete myth. It's not true at all if you don't have pre-existing genetic heart disease. And it's really the sugars, even the sugars in fruits and veggies, fructose. It's an overproduction of insulin that causes a problem. And because there's so much glucose, it tends to make the cholesterol sticky. And you end up, when it sticks, it starts to calcify. and that's the calcium. That's hardening of arteries. That's a little different, and that only happens when there's damage inside of the veins or the arteries. So,
and then like going back to that, we got to cover all of this and more in the Masculine Empowerment Network, because like it's just it's like drinking from a fire hose, right?
yeah, it gets even more in depth than that. Like you said, you got a elbow injury. We're going to talk even in that first presentation about why peptides can actually help heal you from injuries. We're going to talk about body protective compound 157, and also we're going to talk about thiazolidine beta 500. These are absolutely legal compounds that can be prescribed and are extremely effective in soft tissue injuries.
Yeah. Rick James says, which is why CrossFitters having natural high T is impossible. It's a sport of endurance, and the volume of training is insane. Honestly, I see this CrossFitters. I'm like, dude, these motherfucking people are crazy. Like, it's a little too much, in my
It's a
opinion.
little fanatical, and you're running at the edge of injury, and you're depleting. So,
I mean,
be
it's
smart.
just
It's fun. Just be smart about it.
And then, like I said, we're going to talk about that more in the Masculine Empowerment Network with the presentation. So, Thor, I want to ask you some more questions. And guys, if you have questions for Thor, I'm going to start asking a series of more questions. Send a super chat in if you have a serious question. We'll stop the show and we'll sort it out. Looks like V2Cage just asked for something for you, Thor. $20 super chat. What are your thoughts on taking creatine along with L-arginine and citrulline as primary supplements next to a healthy diet and lifestyle? I do a lot of grappling sports and heard creatine is beneficial. Thor, take it away.
Absolutely. I mean, I got a sound drop for that. I'll give him the war horn. I mean, that deserves an Odin right there. Yes, creatine is one of the most studied supplements on the planet, and it improves the ATP process and more inside of your muscle for power production. I know a lot of folks that use the loading phase, but just 5 milligrams a day also has neuroprotective benefits. Creatine can be obtained in red meats, but a supplement of 5 milligrams a day is extremely good. L-arginine, citrulline, those are both amino acids that are crucial in your diet. It does not hurt you at all to supplement with those. Doing a lot of grappling sports, well, you're helping that process for energy inside your muscles. And of course, I know something about that, having earned a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So yes, you're going to need that extra energy in your muscles for those sudden bursts and then the long endurance for sure. You're also going to need to be able to convert glycogen into energy, and then you're also going to be able to convert oxygen into energy in your muscles much more effective. So you might as well supplement with creatine. It's very good for you.
Yeah.
Shut up and take my money.
I mean, the amount of damage that you take doing combat sports is like,
yeah, that's for sure.
I'm grabbing my elbow right now. I didn't tap to an arm bar when I was 24.
Oh, everybody taps, man. It's just training.
I didn't tap. We were fucking backyard brawling.
I know it.
After UFC. And to this day, I have like a fucking pain in this right elbow that acts up. And it's just like, I won the match, but I lost the life.
There is such a thing as the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu graveyard for us older guys.
Yeah. Rick James, $6.99. Thor, how do you handle a guy trying to AMOG/team up on you at the bar?
Don't know what team up is, but AMOG, that's Alpha Male Group. Honestly, I don't have that problem at all because I'm really good at recognizing it as it's coming in. And so I'll usually preempt it. An AMOG I'll preempt, and usually I'll throw them off with some social engineering, so to speak. You got to be good at body language. I mean, in fact, this is what I talk about when I talk about a dominant masculine presence. And usually you won't get an AMOG that's trying to hit you up in a bar unless someone's really trying to grandstand, and sometimes they're drunk. I don't drink a drop. So being of a clear head, it allows you to use amuse mastery, agree and amplify, fogging, and all the regular shit test techniques. So when somebody's AMOGing you, a witty shit test technique usually is more than enough. They start talking, you're an F word, you're some kind of rainbow person, you can just laugh it off and say, yeah, it takes one to know one. Looks like you know them all. You know, you could just play with it. But usually you can recognize those guys because they're the guys that are disclosing everything about themselves to increase their status. And they just come off as a douchebag against somebody that doesn't do that.
I'll add to this, guys. By the way, smash the like button. The like is the most important metric that YouTube measures in order to take the shadow ban off this channel so we can get the message out there. We got 142 people watching us live here on YouTube. We got 35 live watching on Rumble. I'll just say this. So, Rick James, one of two things. You probably are a weak-looking guy, or you look like a guy that is bullyable. Because when these guys do these kind of things to you, they're not doing it to people like me. They're not doing it to people like Thor. Okay. So there's a couple things. First things first, when somebody is trying to punk you in a bar, you want to keep them at arm's distance, because God knows what's going to happen when they close that barrier between you and your arm. Okay. That's the danger zone. So you want to keep them at arm's distance. First things first. Second of all, most dudes are complete fucking pussies. Okay. So you stare them in the eye with the intent to kill, and you don't break that fucking eye contact. Okay. One time I used to work at this bar, the 180 Grey Goose Lounge in Orlando, and on Wednesday night was ladies' night, and they used to make us wear these pink suspenders. And this local fucking drug dealer came in there, and he pulled my suspender and he popped it. And I was just like, hey, dude, don't fucking do that. That hurts, and it's not fucking cool. And it was just him one-on-one. They pat him down before they get in the bar. So I knew that he didn't have a knife or weapon on him. But he got in my face like this close. And he's like, what did you say? I said, don't fucking touch me. And I stood my ground. And he says, do you want to go outside and handle this? I said, gladly. Because I knew that the house had my back too. If I whooped his ass, they would just be like, oh, he fell on the stairs. So he was like, all right, let's go to the elevator. So I said, okay, let's fucking go. You first. So we walked to the elevator. I pushed the fucking button and I stared at his eyes, and I kept staring at this guy. And eventually it ran through his head. He's like, you know what? I don't want to do this, man. Fuck this. And I was just like, oh, okay. So a couple things. I got a lot of social clout from people at the bartenders. Old school Frank, the Italian guy, saw me. He's like, God damn, Hogwood, I didn't know you're a badass like that. 2, this girl that I wanted to bang saw me, which was obviously a solid W. And 3, I saw this guy a couple weeks later at a club called, what was it called? I think it was called Tier Nightclub. I think it's called Tier Nightclub downtown Orlando. And he saw me and he was like, oh, hey, man, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in forever. And he's all buddy with me, pulls me in his VIP, starts pouring me up champagne, starts acting like he's my pal. He's like, yo, man, were you in the military? He's like, I'm really sorry about what I did last time, yada, yada, yada. So the thing is this. Bullies only respond to power. And this whole bullshit of like, just be the bigger man, walk away. So theoretically, yes. But if these people are going to punk you, and if they're going to break the contact barrier of, your arm's distance, it's up to you to just back away or hold your fucking ground. But end of the day, the real point about this is this guy thought he could do this to you because probably like the way you're standing, the way you're carrying yourself. If you're a skinny guy, you're unconfident, you're not a confident guy, you're standing with your pockets, hands in your pocket. That's something that these bullies do, because these bullies are psychological predators, and they don't pick on the strong. They pick on the weak intentionally. So you might have to ask yourself, Rick James, what's going on with you?
So I what, Rick does ask a really good question. I want to give some real gems here because I've seen the chat. So I'm going to just lift a couple of them from creating a dominant masculine presence. Realize that when you have a certain look and you project and you're saying less than is necessary, you have the right pacing of your voice and the right tempo. You're not high and pathetic. That stuff right there is a vibe. Women know this vibe precisely. And when you couple that with masculine body language, I'm going to tell you exactly how that's done. They see you as more of a threat when they're a bully. Now, not all AMAGs are bullies, but they want to get the attention of the girls. So here's how you can avoid it. You have to develop these masculine body language traits, which most people don't even talk about. You have to take up space, but don't be obvious. You don't want your arms sticking out like you got invisible lat syndrome, but you do take up space. You walk with purpose. You have to be aware of touch. You use it, but don't be creepy. Use it sparingly. Do it strategically. You do not inconvenience yourself for these guys, or even for the women for that matter. You could be polite and be a gentleman, but keep your gaze up. Don't look down. Slowly redirect your gaze as if you're reacting because you know, or if they're not worth your reaction. Your peripherals, excellent vision. Don't drink. Be aware. This will solve your problems. Make yourself comfortable everywhere. You know, wherever you're at, you have such confidence and presence that you're the one that's comfortable. They are not in your presence. Keep an open body language. You could see it. There's guys that are masters of it. Look at Andrew Tate. He's always got an open body language, yet he projects this presence. Own yourself and the space you're in. It's subtle, but occasionally it needs to be overt. You keep that relaxed body language, you know. When you're maintaining a good posture, your shoulders are back, your head is up, you're scanning the area, almost as if you're analyzing everybody in the room and your social acuity is high. You walk with a purpose. And if you're in the West, in most places, you will nod up to acknowledge others, particularly other men such as an AMOG. You guys have all seen it, right? You see the vato with the bandana, you want to acknowledge it and not have problems, you're going to nod like this. You're going to tip that head up. Do not look down and nod down. I know somewhat culture, in some cultures, that is a different thing, and that's more of the bow than the nod. Nod up to acknowledge men in this environment. That is a dominant masculine gesture. Do not appear emotional or reactionary to anything. Don't get your voice and then go way up like that when you're making a point or raising it to interject to be right in a conversation. It makes you appear in control. When you're raising your voice to get over the top of people, you're grandstanding. Lower your voice and speak with purpose, in control, and to a point. And smile slightly. And smiling is good, but smile slightly. Just do something like that. You don't have to be cheesing it all the time. Because when you do, it's a grimace of submission in some cases. You can see this in primates. This is just a couple of things that I'll be bringing to you guys. There's way more than that. You know, you have to be aware of everything and assess every arrangement or every room or setting, whether it's a bar or not. Know who's there. But, you know, there's big parts about your presence. You have to be clean. You have to have self-care, readiness. You have to have calm hands. Remember, John talked about hands in your pocket, open seated postures. You know, you don't want your hands crossed all the time, but you can put your hands up. You could do these sorts of things and use micro expressions on your face. When we go through that in my webinar, I'll talk about micro expressions, how you can use the mirror and actually look at actors to practice this, make it become a part of your authentic self. Your feet is shoulder width apart. Don't ever cross your legs. These things all show weakness and they're feminine in nature, yet you'd be surprised how many men do this when they're speaking, okay? Or they'll reverse their hands and put them on the back of their hips. Very feminine gesture. Don't do that. Those sort of things will keep 99% of the AMOGs away from you because you're just a little too dangerous and unknown when they see a body language like that. And in the webinar, I'm going to teach you guys how to shake hands. That's incredibly dominant, where you seize control of the other person's essential arm and body. And it's not over, you know, you're not overdoing it. It's something that I will show you guys in that webinar. But that's just a few things that I wanted to address for.
We could end the show right there with all the fucking value you just fucking dropped, man. But that's the thing, and this is why, guys, listen and listen, and Rick James, you are awesome as a man to ask that kind of question because a lot of guys,
valuable.
A lot of guys just sit around and fucking take it these days. And here's one thing that, you know, the big pussifying agenda, you know, the single mothers, these mother-led households, like, oh, just go tell the principal. Like, no, we don't tell the principal as a man. I'm not a fucking snitch. I do not go and cry to an authority to save me. I'm not a fucking communist. I'm not a socialist. Goddamn American male. I fucking solve my own problems, goddamn it. And that can't be like, if you're a woman, yeah, go call somebody to save your problems. That's what women do, okay? But if you're a man and your system of solving problems is always to rely on an outside force, then you're just going to become a weak individual. You have to rely on yourself, okay? You have to be as independent as possible. And, you know, a lot of you guys, when you get a food order that's wrong at a restaurant, you don't even send it back. You're just like, no, I'll just fucking take this. You know, like they cooked my steak wrong the other day at TGIF Fridays. And you know what? Serves me right for going to TGI Fridays. But they cooked my steak wrong. And I was just like, typical Japanese scatterbrain panic when a fucking foreigner makes a complaint. So I asked for my steak to be medium. They're like, "Oh, we're so sorry." They took the steak and it was well done. And then they went back and they charred it even more. And I was just like, stop freaking out for a second. Okay. Listen to me. I said this in Japanese. Okay. I was like, my steak, I ordered medium. This was well. And then you took it back and you cooked it well done. So, moikai, one more time, please take your ass back there and fucking cook me up a medium steak. Because I wasn't just going to sit there and eat some char grilled piece of shit that I paid for. And you guys think that I'm inconveniencing somebody. Oh, I don't want to trouble them. I don't want to this. I don't want to that. You know, you guys have to have some backbone. And you have to understand that it's okay for you to have things your way. You need to channel your inner Karen a little bit. When these crazy white women in America like to fucking complain for everything, take a page out of their psychotic book and be okay with wanting what you want in this life. And if you don't get what you don't want, right? Or if you don't get what you want, be okay with sending that shit back out into the kitchen. Or if the woman you're dating with, right? If she's not on board, that's part of having a dominant masculine frame. You have to understand that, okay, wait a minute. I told this chick, I don't like fucking dirty house. I don't like you posting your ass on Instagram. I don't like you having all these fucking guy friends. And I don't like your girls' night out. If you are clearly stating, I do not like these things, and she doesn't look and say, well, he doesn't like these things, I want to keep him in my life, then I'm going to stop doing these things. That's a good girly keep. But a lot of you guys tell the woman, I don't like you doing these things. She doesn't change. And then you go Steven Crowder. And then you wonder like, oh, why is my relationship falling apart? Why is my self-esteem falling apart? Because when you fuck with people who go against your internal value system, this eats away again at your core identity as a man and destroys you slowly from the inside out, because you start to think, I have no value. The woman in my life is not fucking complying with me. She's not cooperating with me. She's going on her own fucking agenda. And when she does that, guess what?
She belongs to the streets.
Back to the streets. Get her a blanket. Tell her the fucking streets are cold. Peace out. And guess what? You're going to start gaining your sanity back. You're going to start getting your confidence back. And you're going to be even more solidified in your confidence by saying to the universe, hey, this is what I want. And if you're not going to give it to me, I'm going to get rid of you. And I will find someone that will give this to me, because that is the abundance of reality. But a lot of you guys are too afraid to do it, or you feel like you're not good enough to put your foot down. I mean, Thor, you probably see this all the time with the new kids being just gigantic vaginas, being afraid of everything.
I do, actually. And I'm really excited about this next round of webinars, because in one of the presentations, the last presentation I did, and you can thank me for sure, Kyle, pick up the MEN, go ahead and enroll, because it really means a lot to be able to pass what I'm going to pass this time. I haven't spoken about it a lot, but I'm going to go into detail on 7 skills that are superior to all others that you can actually practice. It is not hard. It's real simple. Now, each one has some practice behind it, but it will solve the problems that John speaks about. And not only will it solve those problems, it will defeat a woman's desire to have the required 6 sixes of a man today. It will defeat a modern woman's 436 point bullet checklist for a man today. Guaranteed. And here's what they are: physicality, psychology, presence, problem solving, prosperity, power as in influence, and passion. You get above average in any 3 of those things, and you are set. If you get 4, you're a top 5% guy. So that's all you got to do. Pick any 3 or 4 of those and focus. And I'll walk you through those step by step. Jonathan already is aware of this. He mentions it all the time in his money, muscles, game, and frame. So I'm just going to codify that in a little different way, and hopefully that will help you guys. So thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. Definitely young guys are having issues, John, and you're doing good work. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Kyle L, son of Jor-El, 13.99 super chat says, thank you, Red Pill Lore. So much chance from both you and John. We appreciate you, bro. Kyle L came out to Tokyo with me. We had lunch. It was a good time.
Oh, excellent.
He was also in Toronto. Really good guy, 10 out of 10. Didn't take the vax. I love him. Let's talk about some things we got moving forward here, Thor. So obviously, you're a guy that pretty much has your shit beyond sorted out. I'm not going to go into the details of it, but definitely top financial 1%. Physicality speaking, definitely in the top 10%. I mean, for people your age, like in the top 0.0001%. Money, muscles, game, frame, you've got it all checked. However, even when you joined the Masculine Empowerment Network, I'm sure you probably were like initially thinking like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to get myself into. But at the time, you're just like, fucking have money. I'll check it out. What was your initial perception and thoughts of everything when you saw what I was doing, going ham 3 weeks solo on those Masculine Empowerment Network webinars? What was your overall impression of everything as you joined for the first time?
So I was an old form guy, like I said, with the guys that were doing, fitness and things like that. And then I also had trained young Powerline apprentices in kind of a mentorship role to keep them safe when they're working on America's power grid, flying on helicopters, climbing poles, very dangerous work. And what you were doing was very interesting by attracting young men. And you really had talked about body language. And some of your examples were so impressive because it seemed like it was very natural to see this. And then I saw the reaction of some of the guys in the chats and stuff. And I go, this sounds really interesting. I've kind of been a fan of the social interaction amongst people. So let me go ahead and sign up for this forum or whatever it is, and just go ahead and check it out. I had my fair share of relationship difficulties in trying to understand how men and women interact. I mean, in December of 2013 and January of 2014, I read Rollo's book, The Rational Male. So I had conceptual idea, and I thought the book was very, very good, but I haven't really put, I put it in the memory banks and was moving forward, and I was kind of really social at the time. You knew my lifestyle at the time. Without revealing too much, there was plenty of social discretion there. So I was kind of a social outlet, and I want to see what younger people were thinking and what you're doing. And here's this guy in Tokyo, of all places, in this strange foreign land, chasing some yellowtail and putting out this body language mastery course. So curiosity really grabbed a hold of me, and the fact that you were articulate enough to engage with me in a conversation over text and kind of put me on the spot to come check out what I had. It was unlike anything else. And you had credibility because you'd been on the Red Man group Yep. Red Man group. And I respected those guys on there. So I said, all right, kid, let me come see what's going on. And like I said, I goofed up and missed the first week, but after the first few webinars, I'm like, oh, hell, here is a kind of a men's space that we haven't had in decades, kind of like the old men's clubs, where they're exchanging notes, describing some of their difficulties, and reaching out to other men to lift them up. I mean, it became my motto on the Dragon ship: a rising tide lifts all ships, and you had started that tide. So that's kind of my history with you, and I was shocked by it. I was shocked enough that I started to reach out and help some of the other guys, and you kind of noticed it right away. And then you reached out to me.
Yeah, because I just saw your profile photo on Facebook, and I just saw like, dude, this guy's a motherfucking tank. I thought you were in your 40s too. I reached out to you. I thought you were like a
50s, yeah.
I thought you were a guy like, like this guy, like, kind of looks a little old, but he's also, taking care of himself, and he's looking great in his 40s. And then we started talking, and then I was just like, Christ in Bethlehem, like this guy is a like fucking gem. Like I couldn't even believe the value that you had in you. I was just like, I'm like, why is this guy even talking to me?
Well, you know, I think a lot you
of you.
recognize it, but a lot of guys that are young don't realize that they're alive. They're alive in this earth suit. Do you know what that means to wake up and be alive every day?
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing, isn't it? Are you worried about what happened to you in the past if you're alive today? You know, all of that's pretty nebulous shit. You're here now.
Yeah.
And you can plan for tomorrow.
Yep.
Very esoteric, but it's very important.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I think that's another thing a lot of guys kind of take for granted because these motherfuckers think they're going to live forever, bro. Like, you know, you guys really think you're just going to live forever.
Can be taken away in an instant.
Dude, scared the shit out of me when I fucking took those edibles in Canada. I didn't even know
you took a death star.
I didn't even know edibles could do that to you. I thought like you could never overdose on edibles.
Did you see the heart of the universe?
Dude, I saw the face of God and he was like, stop being an idiot.
And the devil too. Yep.
That shit scared the fuck out of me, man. I really thought like I was gonna fucking die. I was like, I'm gonna die in this fucking shitty Airbnb in Toronto, Canada, alone with nobody around me. And what's most scary part is like that was the one time in the trip that I didn't have members of the Masculine Empowerment Network.
Yeah.
I literally from Miami to fucking Santa Barbara when we linked with you, when you helped me out, to fucking Las Vegas. I mean, Sam literally flew his rifles over, flew his fucking rifles with him because he loves his guns.
Oh, yeah.
Flew his rifles to fucking Santa Barbara.
I was kind of hoping you'd drive from Santa Barbara out to Las Vegas. We'd stop in the middle and have fun with the tannerite and stuff like that. But you got to do that.
You know, yeah, we actually found some tannerite out there too, and we shot it in the wild. I had a blast, but that was the one time. And then the next day, Paul from Apex Mindset showed up. I told him what happened. He's like, I've done research on the way here. Take this compound. He gave me some supplements to reset my dopamine, my receptors and everything. He's like, this is what happened. You overdosed on the edibles. It triggered a panic attack and triggered an anxiety attack because your body thought something was happening due to some neural connectivity things. Like literally the day after, I had a full-blown status report. Justin Mark was the first time I'd met him. So he wasn't up to yet, but he was there immediately helping me out.
That's good.
And, you know, just like, dude, like I'm so glad that I have people in the Masculine Empowerment Network and more, man.
And you're covered in Santa Barbara this time? You got somebody there?
So I don't have any troops on the ground yet for Santa Barbara, arriving on the 13th, leaving on the 17th. But I might put out because we're going to be doing the enrollment for the Masculine Empowerment Network.
Be busy,
May 8th on a Monday. And then from there, I'll just see who's who. Maybe I don't know. Kyle's kind of busy, but I trust Kyle. You know, you're out there, but I know you have your hands full. I know Damien is in the area, but he's not a member of the Masculine Empowerment Network. Billy would fucking do it in a heartbeat, but I need Billy helping manning the webinars. Yeah. We'll see. I have somebody that's going to be sorting me out there.
I'm working on settling some stuff here at home, and hopefully by the end of summer, when my book comes out, I'll be able to do the grand tour with you, and we'll be able to get out there. You know, we'll do something similar.
Hell yeah. Harry Zico's 499 super chat. He says, fitness is so critical, brothers. It has been a huge game changer for my personal life and business life. Harry, if you could DM me the picture.
Solid.
Yeah. Harry, if you could DM me the picture of you now in really good shape, and then the fat picture I sent you the other day, send it to me on Telegram. I'll pull it up on the screen so guys can join, because Harry actually joined the Masculine Empowerment Network in 2020. I fat shamed him to a traumatizing extent in 2021, and he lost 60 pounds, and he has never looked better, younger, and more fit than his entire life. And he too just cannot keep the women away. I've seen the quality of women in his life go up, quality of his happiness, his health, everything. And guys, like we're not like making this shit up. Like these guys are not bots in the fucking chat. Like Thor is not a paid actor. This is not like a gigantic, like you're not that important for me to like try to put together some gigantic scam to get fucking $800 out of you for your annual membership of the Masculine Empowerment Network. You're really not that important. What we are doing is we're putting together a team. We have the best team in the world. There's nobody better than the team of the Masculine Empowerment Network. There's nobody. Because you see, a lot of these content creators, a lot of these red pill guys, black pill guys, MGTOW, whatever the case may be, when they sit around and cry, they sit around and cry because they don't have the solutions. They sit around and bitch because they don't have the solution. They don't know how to turn people's lives around. I do. I'm fucking very good at it. Thor is very good at it. And we are not getting any worse anytime soon. We're only going to get better. So again, if you guys have not gotten on the waiting list for the Masculine Empowerment Network, you are shortcutting yourself. You are shortcutting yourself with quickness. So go to masculineempowermentnetwork.com, put your best email in here, click here to save your spot, and you'll be locked and loaded to be part of the community, to be part of everything. I mean, I've been helping so many guys out. The receipts are through the fucking roof. And then, so here's Harry's right now. I'm going to show you a couple pages. This is him. One. Harry, show me the after photo. Send me a good after photo.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll show you guys. This is the before. Okay. If you take a look right here, Harry's on the right-hand side here. Harry Zikos, that's him right there. There's me. We're on the beach. That was 2021. And then he has, that was him there. You know, obviously pretty big, not healthy body weight at all. Pretty fat. He's, I think he's 5'8", 5'9", and at this time looks like he was over 200. And then now he has sent me the new, improved version of himself. And look at this good-looking man, bro. Look at that.
Fantastic.
33 years young. Look at that guy. Look at the fucking smile on that face. Ear to ear, baby. Ear to ear.
Oh, Harry.
You know, turned it completely around. Look at that. All natty. No TRT, no steroids, no drugs, just fasting, daily monitoring of his calories, daily monitoring of his health. I mean, and I don't care what anybody says. When you're in good shape, dude, life is better. Life is way fucking better. Okay, let me just give you the full treatment here as well. Okay, one more time. Take a look at Harry, man. There you go. Just fat on the right-hand side. There he is there. You know, and then look at that. Look at the smile on that face, baby. Ear to ear, baby. Look at the big difference. Okay. So, I mean, the transformation that we're doing here at the Masculine Empowerment Network is just astronomical. And we want you to be a part of it. And
let me say one thing about it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you recognize it too. There is a problem in the manosphere in I won't say in the red pill space because there's a core. There's a core group, and it's, I'll use an analogy. What we have in this space right now is too many tribute bands that are copying tribute bands. I mean, because we actually understand that the red pill and what we offer with this knowledge, it has extreme utility for men.
Yeah.
It's not an ideology. It's not a religion, but because it has utility, it can be sold. So it gets watered down into these ideas that really aren't that helpful, but they are emotional. And I really don't like seeing the emotionality of it because that's just too much sales and not enough meat. The red pill is utility. And what Jonathan offers here is a ton of utility that's based on all that stuff we learned as this manosphere developed and the red pill developed. And we really appreciate it, John.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you so much. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm just doing what I know is the right thing to do. I have to, and this is not to sit around and talk about how awesome I am, but we can do that too. But
you know what I like to do with all those guys out there is I like them to define femininity. Just watch what happens when you ask them to define femininity. These tribute bands that are out there, watch them squirm. It's like asking the girls how to define what they want.
Don't even worry about it. But the point I'm trying to make is that a lot of people have been telling me from many walks of lives and everything, saying you're doing God's work. And I just know I go to sleep with a clear conscience every night because I know that all the marketing, all this stuff, the reach, everything that I do, it's at the heart of my message, which is I want guys to get better. Money, muscles, game frame. I want guys to turn their lives around. Okay, I want guys to be the best possible version of themselves that they can. I want them to level up. I want them to fucking get the woman that they want, get the money that they want, get the body that they want, have the self-esteem, have the confidence, all these things. And, the reality is very, very, very clear. Okay, all the tools are in front of you. You have all the resources in the world, but you're a dopamine slave and your attention is split 17 different ways. Some of you guys are addicted to watching people yell at hoes on Fresh and Fit and stuff, and that's fine. But for the guys out there who are tired, the guys out there who just wake up every day and life is just basically a struggle, for the guys that just want to be done, but they don't want to end it, that's what the Masculine Empowerment Network is for. We're here to be your digital brotherhood, and this leads to linking up in real life. Probably going to have a meetup in Miami. Might not have a meetup in California. We'll see. But, I'm here for you guys. I'm here for you guys, and I really want to tell you that if I turn my life around, you can too. But it all starts with you. It starts with you taking action, coming to the webinars, participating in the Telegram chat, and doing the work that is necessary for you to get the life that you want. And once you do the work, I'm telling you, okay, it is easy. It is super, super easy because you have no competition. The average guy is sitting around crying, hoping people feel sorry for him. The average guy is sitting around making excuses. The average guy is a fat, sexless, broke loser. That is not me trying to be a hype man. That's not me talking about anything. Literally, the average guy is a fat, broke, sexless loser. Okay. So can you stop being fat? Well, we have all the opportunity in the world for you in the Masculine Empowerment Network to show you about the components of physical fitness that help you stop being fat. Can you not be broke? Well, we have a lot of guys that are talking about job placement in the Masculine Empowerment Network and so much more, right? Can you fucking have women? Well, we have guys talking about game, sourcing women, maintaining women, building a healthy relationship, and so much more. Okay. So the answer is yes, you can. But the question is, will you? How long will you sit there and suffer? How long will you let another day pass by? I saw somebody in the chat saying that, like, well, funds are tight right now, so I'll wait until the Masculine Empowerment Network allows me to sign up again in August. What is saving that money between now and that time? What is saving that money going to do to make your life better other than lose value in your bank account due to inflation? Right? Because the reality is you have to look at money the way rich people look at money. Money is a tool to get you what you want. If you do not have the life that you want, you need to be investing in coaching, mentorship, and so much more. Okay? To get the life that you want. Stop worrying about investing in Bitcoin and investing in this and investing that. Invest in yourself. Invest in your self-development. Life improvement, self-improvement should be a lifelong journey. And if you're not on it with me now, good luck, because by default, you're set up to lose. And that's the big thing. Okay? That's a big thing here. So, Thor, you got anything to say in closing?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys would do me a solid and just come and subscribe to my YouTube channel, RP Thor, it's that simple. We got a panel show on Saturdays called The Dragon Ship, where it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. Guys panel chopping up on current issues that affect men and women. And it's good. Thanks, John.
Good stuff, man. Well, listen, guys, thank you guys so much for being with us today. And again, don't forget, go to the masculineempowermentnetwork.com right now. Get on the waiting list. We're going to turn this bad boy around for you. Thaddeus Walker says, the first buying period covers the entire year. Yes. When you sign up for the Masculine Empowerment Network, okay, it is, dude, this is basically a fucking charity, the way I'm giving away all this value for free. I might as well just call it the fucking Salvation Army Network, okay, because it's fucking, it's insultingly cheap. You get a whole year of coaching with all these guys, multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs, high-level men in all aspects of life. Okay. You get my course, Body Language Mastery, shows you how to set up and read a woman's body language. So know if she's sexually interested in you or not. You get 60 webinars throughout 2023 and 2024, because the last set is going to be happening in January 2024. So you're making an investment now for yourself in January. Okay. 200 hours of past webinars. So during the break, when we have webinars, you can study the database of all the coaching we have from people like Rollo Tomasi, Rich Cooper, Donovan Sharp, Ryan Stone, Troy Francis, Ed Lattimore, Myron Gaines before he was even Myron Gaines, Avi Kingdom, King Dre, Mr. Lucario, the whole self-improvement space for men online. You get access to the Telegram chat, direct access to me, MLD, and then open course access sale. All of this is included in the Masculine Empowerment Network. If you wait to sign up, you're only going to get 40 webinars. If you wait again, you're only going to get 20. So go sign up now. Get on the waiting list now. It is seriously the lifetime steal.
And you get access to all of us. And on that Telegram, don't undersell that. That is completely uncensored. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have said that on YouTube.
No. We deleted all the evidence from last year.
Okay. Good.
I make that every year for a reason. So that's going to do it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow. I am going to try to get Mark's inspiration on. So we're going to talk with him, and he's going to be another, guy full of wisdom. If not him, probably Wraith or something. I don't have it fully ironed out. Until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame. And Thor, you can hit him with the skull on the way out.
Skull, and thanks, chat.